Greetings everyone. So this is the part 2 of our discussion last time about thermochemistry. So let's start our discussion from slide number 22, which talks about enthalpy. So let's redefine first enthalpy. So enthalpy is the measurement of energy in thermodynamic system. The quantity of enthalpy is equal to the total content of the heat of a system equivalent to the system's internal energy. So, ibig sabihin class, enthalpy in a short term is just a combination of internal energy plus the energy that is released and absorbed. So, magkaiba po sila by means of definition by internal energy. Kasi kadalasan, they treated the same way minsan sa problem. Pero magkaiba sila sa general. Mas broad yung definition ng enthalpy kasi under ni enthalpy si internal energy. Kasi nga, cover pa ni enthalpy yung internal energy including also the energy that is released and absorbed during the chemical reaction. So, yan po yung pinaka-short na definition ni enthalpy. So, enthalpy has the symbol of delta H or ayan, delta H. Delta signifies that enthalpy can change through time because sabi ko nga sa inyo, once we release heat into surroundings or absorb heat into surroundings, so obviously enthalpy probably will increase or decrease. So that's why the symbol of delta signifies change. So constantly na nagbabago. So we have also the symbol Q. So the symbol Q signifies that is a heat itself class. So again, in an enthalpy, ang tatandaan nyo dito, pag endothermic reaction is that the sign that we will use is positive. So again nga, di ba sabi natin, once pag endothermic, we absorb heat from the surroundings into the systems. So once we add heat into the system, so obviously the total energy will increase. So, because of the increase, the sign of our enthalpy will be positive. So, yun lang po. So, obviously, once the process an exothermic, ayan. So, exothermic, obviously, the sign will be negative since we release heat from the surroundings into the system. So, negative po yung sign natin pag exothermic. So, next, another term na dapat nyo pong tandaan before tackle is entropy. So, entropy class is almost connected to enthalpy kasi they use most of the time ng kasabay. So, entropy is with the symbol of S. So, ayan, S po yung symbol niya. Is thermodynamics quantity that is measured how spread out or disperse the energy of a system as among different possible ways the system can contain. So in other words, sometimes entropy rather is defined as the measure of randomness and disorder of an energy in a given system. Plus, yun lang yung pinakasimpleng definition ni entropy. So, ayan. As compared with the units used between the entropy and enthalpy, enthalpy class use even larger unit. So, kung si entropy po, gumagamit siya ng unit ng joules per Kelvin. So, in this case, entropy kasi per Kelvin, it is just because we need a specific temperature para masabi natin na iba yung energy content. Maybe, pag iba yung temperature sa loob ng matter or sa loob ng system, so probably the energy will be decrease or increase. So, mababago. So, that's why kailangan included kung what temperature is present in the given system. So, often kasi yung ginagamit natin is the room temperature. So, that is 25 degrees Celsius. So, pero, there are times naman na hindi nasusunod yan. Pero, class, kailangan specify kung what specific temperature. Kasi nga, magkakaiba yan in the long run. As compared with the unit used by entropy class, enthalpy use even larger units. So, instead of joules, did it use kilojoules. Kilojoules po. So, kilojoules lang yung ginagamit natin. So, in some reference class, the unit of enthalpy, once we apply it in a chemical reaction, instead of kilojoules lang, we use it kilojoules per mole. Kilojoules per mole. Same thing with entropy. Pag typical na entropy lang, hindi pa natin na-apply siya sa chemical reaction, the unit we use is joules per Kelvin. But once we apply it in a chemical reaction, the unit we will use is joules per Kelvin times mole or joules per mole times Kelvin. So, kung baga, in-insert lang natin siya kasi in-apply lang natin siya in a chemical equation. So, yun po yung pinakadalawang terms na foundation na needed natin before we understand the second law of thermodynamics. So, again, let's finish this about entropy. So, entropy, again, so, we're going to focus on the table 1. So, table 1 presents the process that leads to increase in entropy of the system. So, let's have this one first. So, ayan. So, kung nakikita niyo sa picture, so, we can see the 3 states of matter that showcase the arrangement of the particle. So, because of the arrangement of the particle, it also shows the how spread the energy probably in the given system. So, kung napapansin nyo class, gas among the 3 has the greatest entropy. Again, greatest entropy is gas. As you can see kasi nga naman, due to its disorderedness, yung gap or yung distance nila sa isa't isa from one particle to another. Because of that, they are randomly moved in that given state. So, ibig sabihin, more yung entropy ni liquid as compared kay solid, and the least among the 3 state of matter is the solid. So, kung napapansin nyo kasi nga, solids, the arrangement of the particle of the solid is compact to each other. So, less random siya as compared among the 3. So, pag in-apply natin dito, in the given processes, so, let's have melting. Ayan. So, melting, the original state or the reactant, yung original niya mismo is the solid, turn into liquid. So, this time class, solid, compact, ibig sabihin, turning it into liquid, the entropy will increase by means of qualitative observation lang natin. So, ayan, melting is an example of, ayan, that shows the entropy, na nag-increase yung entropy. Then, vaporization. So, vaporization is a process of turning liquid into vapor. Liquid into vapor. So, again, class, vapor po yung tawag sa gas mismo if the original state of matter is in liquid state. So, example natin, ulit po, water. Water, the original state of water is in liquid. So, the proper na tawag dapat natin sa water pag na-turn siya into gas is vapor. So, as you can see, liquid into gas, mas tumaas lalo yung entropy niya from liquid into gas. So, okay po, ganun lang siya. So, next, we have also dissolving and heating. So, dissolving class, ayan. So, most of the time, in dissolving, we are also changing or separating, separating or mixing the solute and the solvent to form a solution. So, as you can see, the solute here is in an order form, and once the solution, we mix the solute into solvent, we can form a solution. So, may changes mismo din sa entropy kasi nga nag-mix na together. So on and so forth for heating. So, entropy change example. So, sa inyo na po to. Ayan, kindly take note this. The molecules of gas at high pressure always spread to lower pressure region. So, again, the direction here is always from higher to lower. Same thing with the temperature class. So, almost similar with the pressure. Gas in balloon spread out into room and deflated but never see balloon spontaneous filled with air. So, heat always goes from high temperature into cooler regions. So, ayan, yung mga dapat nyo i-take note. Hot coffee in a room gets cooler and the heat spread out into the room. But never sees a cold cup of coffee spontaneously warm up. So, yun lang. Again, kasi nga, heat always travel. Hindi po yung coldness. So, tatandaan po yun ha. O, sige. Next tayo. Ayan. Next, we have, as you can see in the illustration, we can see the four states of matter that showcase the processes how one state of matter turn it into another. So, let's have this melting from turning solid into liquid, freezing from turning liquid into solid. We have also this condensation from gas into liquid, vaporization from liquid to gas, sublimation from solid to gas, deposition from gas to solid. We have also ionization from gas to plasma, and plasma into gas is called recombination. So we have the term here na dapat nyo lang tatandaan as the latent heat. So latent heat defined as the amount of heat that is needed to change the phase of a given mass of a substance. The amount of heat that is needed to transform one state to another. So ibig sabihin, di ba, normally pag solid, the arrangement of the particle here is compact. So in order to turn it into liquid glass, ang gagawin ni solid, example natin ice cube na solid, ang gagawin ni solid is mag-absorb ng heat from the surroundings. Yung init na inabsorb ni solid to add kinetic energy is what we call a latent heat. So once na-absorb niya, it can turn it into liquid. Matutunaw na siya in short. So ibig sabihin, for the case of vaporization, in order to turn liquid into gas, kailangan niya din mag-absorb ng heat from the surroundings na tinatawag natin latent heat to turn it into gas, and so on and so forth. So, ganun po yung concept ng latent heat, the heat that is needed to change the phase of a given mass into substance. Okay po? O, sige. Next po tayo. So, let's proceed to the next topic. We have spontaneous process. So, obviously, class, we have this opposing term with the term spontaneous. Kung meron spontaneous, meron na tayong tinatawag na non-spontaneous. So, hindi na natin nilagay dito sa slide si non-spontaneous kasi nga automatically yung kabaliktaran lang siya ni spontaneous. So, let's define first spontaneous processes. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga processes yung ika-categorize natin whether it is spontaneous or not. So, it could be this four or madami pang processes. So, let's define spontaneous process. It is a physical or chemical change that occurs by itself. This process occurs without requiring an outside force and continue until equilibrium is reached. So, again, class, kindly take note this without requiring an outside forces. So obviously, without altering the temperature, without altering the pressure, kumbaga, hindi siya pinapakailaman, constantly or continuously lang siya nagpa-process itself. So yan tinatawag nating spontaneous processes. So dapat, to example natin, yung pag naglagay tayo ng asukal sa tubig, so, that is example of spontaneous kasi nga, continuously natutunaw lang siya without mixing or applying any forces. So, example niyan. So, let's have this. Multiple example pa. A lump of sugar spontaneously dissolving a cup of coffee. So, yun nga po. A sugar spontaneously dissolved in a cup of coffee. So, pag naglagay lang tayo ng asukal sa kape, kahit hindi natin hahaluin yan, yung process of mixing is continuously na matatapos. I mean, the process of dissolving is matatapos na siya ma-dissolve without any applying any forces in heat itself. So, it doesn't matter at all. Yan yung tinatawag nating mga spontaneous process. But, dissolved sugar does not spontaneously reappear into its original form. So, Pero daw, the sugar na natunaw is cannot reappear from the original state na asukal. Kasi nga, ibig sabihin, non-spontaneous yung second na ataw dito, na phrase natin. Dissolved sugar does not spontaneously reappear. Yung first part, spontaneously. The second part is non-spontaneous. Kasi nga, hindi naman kasi kaya nating i-reverse yung natunaw na, tapos babalik pa natin sa original na asukal. Kasi nga, mix na siya eh. So, we can use other processes, but we cannot say we will apply forces na, external factors. So, mag-a-apply tayo ng heat, so which is non-spontaneous na, yung makonsider natin. So, ang spontaneous lang dito, yung applying of sugar in a cup of coffee. So, another example class. Water freeze spontaneously below 0 degrees Celsius. So, kung tama nga naman, pag nilagay natin yung tubig sa freezer, pag naka-fix na yung temperature ng 0 degrees Celsius, nakaset na, continuously na mag-freeze lang siya. And the ice melts spontaneously above 0 degrees Celsius. So, tama nga naman, pag binago natin yung temperature, so, di ba nilagay na natin sa freezer, yung tubig, pero pag nilabas na natin siya, so, may changes na agad sa temperature, automatically, magme-melt siya. So, ibig sabihin, water spontaneously, spontaneously na mag-freeze, but melts spontaneously above 0 degrees Celsius. Ibig sabihin, both freezing and melting in this case is spontaneous due to given single condition only. Pag single condition kasi yung reference point natin dito is 0 degrees Celsius. So, both is experiencing 0 degrees Celsius. So, kung baga, given yung temperature dito. So, that's why both spontaneous, sea freezing and melting. But, take note class, either of the two, it could be freezing or melting later on, we can recategorize that. Could be spontaneous yung isa is non-spontaneous. So, I will discuss or re-explain that in the long run. Okay po? Sige. Let's have another example. We have heat flows from hotter object to colder one, but the reverse never happens spontaneously. Kasi nga, di ba sabi ko sa inyo, that only heat transferred. So, example natin nga, yung aircon, airconized na room, yung isolated na room na aircon, pag nagbukas tayo ng pinto or any, even bintana, continuously, so the heat will enters. Kasi nga, by definition, cold or malamig na area is due to absence of heat or least yung present ng heat. So, ang nagmo-move lang continuously, spontaneously, is the heat itself, not the coldness. So that's why heat, hotter object into colder yung process. So flow of hot to cold, spontaneous. Pero cold to hot, non-spontaneous. Okay po? So yun lang. Kaya nga sabi ko, reverse never happens spontaneous. So never, ibig sabihin, non-spontaneous siya. Okay? Sige, next tayo. A piece of sodium metal reacts violently with water to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. However, hydrogen gas did not react with sodium hydroxide to form water and sodium. So in this case, class, the spontaneous process, a piece of sodium metal reacts violently with water to form sodium hydroxide and gas. So hanggang dito lang. Ito yung spontaneous na phrase. Kasi nga naman, sodium lang ha, sodium. One, hindi kasama yung chlorine. Kumbaga kalahati lang ng asin, yung half niya, sodium ion lang. So once the sodium is mixed with water, so ang nangyayari kasi class, that sodium ion will mix with hydroxide. As kumbaga, two hydrogen. So they act violently. Kumbaga, nagiging toxic or nagiging explosive na yung dating. So yan lang yung negative. Kasi nga, kumbaga, nagdo-donate ng extra na electron si sodium. For the case of hydrogen, hindi na kayang i-carry yung energy. That's why it reacts violently. At the same time kasi, they share the same family. So, sa family and specializing location ni hydrogen. So, another reason, baliktad din, however, hydrogen gas does not react with sodium hydroxide to form water and sodium. So, kasi nga, hindi na pwedeng ma-reverse yung process. Ibig sabihin, once the sodium will react to water, automatically, this is a spontaneous process. Continuously yan na mangyayari. Ang yung kabaliktaran, however, hydrogen gas does not react. This one is the non-spontaneous process. So, kung baga, pinapakita lang sa inyo dito, there are some processes that cannot happen reversely. Kung baga, there are processes that will occur spontaneously and automatically yung kabaliktaran is non-spontaneous. Pero class, later, meron tayong may encounter and may ilan ng mga processes na kung saan we can consider both spontaneous. Mismo kung baga kaya niyang mag-reverse process. That is both considered as spontaneous. So next we have another example. Iron exposed to water and oxygen forms a rust. But rust does not spontaneously change back into iron. So ibig sabihin, iron exposed to water and oxygen. So pag na-expose yung iron, so yung example yung bubong natin that's made of iron with oxygen and tubig, magkakaroon talaga ng kalawang. Yan in short, spontaneously na exposure. Pero pag yung kalawang daw na expose sa iron, kaya ba siyang magbalik? So, obviously hindi. Kasi nga, kailangan natin ng, may mga processes na hindi kayang going reversely. So, yun po, yung concept ng spontaneous processes. Again, spontaneous process continuously occur by itself without requiring any outside forces. So, ang tinutukoy natin ng mga required forces class, it could be intervening by any forces, it could be the temperature, it could be the pressure, or anything po na ina-apply natin. Occur by itself, ay yung pinaka-keyword, occur by itself. So, that is the definition of spontaneous process. Okay po? Sige. So, let's have this another example. So, as you can see, in the PowerPoint, we have two example dito. Isolated system. So, walang sinabi flask. Ayan. Example dito. Isolated flask. So, we have isolated flask A. We have also isolated flask B. So, in this case, class, gusto lang ipakita dito how spontaneous process occur. So, basahin natin. In an isolated system, so again, both of this is an isolated system. Kasi nga, ibig sabihin, there is no exchange of heat from the surroundings into the system or vice versa. And obviously, there is no exchange of, exchange of matter. So, an isolated system consists of ideal gas. So, walang sinabi kung what type of gas. In one flask that is connected by closed valve. So, this one is the closed valve. So, A. To a second flask contain a vacuum. So, ito, the vacuum. Once the valve is open, so tatanggalin yung valve. So, let's have this. The gas spontaneously become evenly distributed to the flask. So, ibig sabihin, the gas in the other side, once we open the valve, it will distribute it equally into both sides. So, both sides siyang nag-transfer. When the valve is closed, all the gas molecule accumulating only in the one side of the flask. The diagram, open valve, shows gas being equally distributed among the two flasks. The dispersion of gas is labeled spontaneous, with reverse is labeled as non-spontaneous. So, in this case, class, the spontaneous process is the movement, or the dispersion process is an example for this illustration is a spontaneous process. Kasi nga naman, so in this case, pag closed system, ang nangyayari, or closed yung valve, walang nangyaring transformation ng gas sample. Pero nung inopen natin yung valve, evenly distributed siya. Ibig sabihin, yung dispersion ng mga gases is spontaneously na nangyayari. So, ibig sabihin, dispersion is an example of spontaneous process. Pero yung pagbalik niya, kung baga, close na natin to, so, that is not spontaneously. Kasi nga, wala na walang ini-exert na. So, pag nag-close na tayo dito, ulit, ang nangyari, hindi na vacuum dito. So, mag-close na, equal na lang ang nangyayari. So, dito, wala. Vacuum. So, ito lang. Okay? Sige, next tayo. How does spontaneity apply to a chemical reaction? So, ayun class. This time, we will apply the concept of spontaneity in a chemical reaction. So, how does it affect the chemical reaction? In a chemical reaction, we have the delta H reaction, or the enthalpy reaction is equal to H product, or the enthalpy na product, and the H reactant. If it is exothermic, the enthalpy reaction is negative. O, tandaan to ha. If the exothermic reaction, the enthalpy of reaction is negative. So, again nga class, tama nga naman sabi natin, pag exothermic, coming from the system, we release energy into surroundings. So, pag nag-release tayo ng init, nang galing sa surroundings, mababawasan nga naman yung enthalpy. So, that results to have a negative side. So, yan nga yung sinabi ko kanina, yung sa introduction pa lang. To get a negative enthalpy reaction, the H product must be lower than the reactant. An exothermic reaction can be spontaneous process if one takes place without energy from external source. So again, hinhighlight po dito ulit na nangyayaring spontaneous process without energy from the external source. So ibig sabihin, pag ang gusto nyo i-highlight dito, exothermics is most of the time is spontaneous process, but endothermic is conditional. Depende pa kung anong condition. For a chemical reaction to be spontaneous, it should be proceed as written from left to right without inputs of energy. So, pag sinabi po natin left and right class, so let's have this example. Ayan. So, let's have an example. Ayan. So, dito tayo. Ayan. So, as you can see, ayan. So, this one is a chemical equation. So, paano yung sinasabi nating tawag dito? Proceed from left to right. Ang gusto kong sabihin, so let's have an example. Di ba sabi natin, in the left side is our reactants separated by arrow. On the right side is the product. So, ang gusto kong sabihin dito is that if in the left side, that element is present, it must be also present in the right side. So, example, carbon is present in the reactant, and carbon is also present in the product, or salitan lang in short. So, kung baga, we cannot create a new element that is not present sa kabilang side. So, kung baga, it must be equally present in both sides siya. So, yun ang gustong sabihin kanina natin, that proceeds from left to right. Okay po? O sige. So, balik tayo. Okay, sige, next tayo. In most cases, exothermicity, example 1 and 2, favors spontaneity of reaction. So, again, class, sabi ko nga sa inyo, most of the time, exothermic reaction is considered as spontaneous process. But, ayan ha, highlight the but, does not guarantee it. Most of the time, but there are instances that exothermic reaction or processes is pwedeng nagiging spontaneous, nabe-break din siya. Pero kung baga, mas mataas yung chance pag exothermic yung process considered as spontaneous. Just as it is possible for endothermic reaction to be spontaneous. Example 3, it is possible for exothermic reaction to be non-spontaneous. So, ibig sabihin, class, kung iisipin natin as a general, most of the exothermic reaction favored siya as makonsider natin as spontaneous. And for endothermic reaction, mas favored siya as non-spontaneous. Pero, pwede siyang mabaliwala. Depende nga kasi sa energy na na-accept or nare-release. So, e-explain din natin later on yan. That's why kailangan natin siyang i-compute mismo. We cannot just writing na pag exothermic, dire-diretso, spontaneous siya. No, hindi po ganon yung basis. Madami tayong criteria na tinitignan pa in the long run. So, okay po? Sige, let's have an example ang sabi dito. Example 1 and 2. So, this is an example of an exothermic reaction. So, we can consider this chemical reaction as spontaneous process or spontaneous mas favor spontaneity. So, kung papasin natin, we have for the reactant, so we have the hydrogen ion and hydroxide, an ion. So, to form a water or H2O or dihydrogen monoxide. So, kung napapansin nyo, our reactants is both in aqueous state to form a liquid. So, in order to turn a liquid, so, ibig sabihin, ang nangyari lang dito, class, nag-release ng heat si hydrogen ion and si hydroxide to form a water. So, that results to have a negative enthalpy. Ayan. That results to have negative enthalpy. Ayan ulit po, delta H is the symbol of enthalpy. So, ibig sabihin, pag negative class, yung enthalpy exothermic yan. Kasi nga, sabi natin, coming from the system, ito yung energy na nawala sa system kasi nga exothermic reaction. As you can see yung unit natin, kilojoules. Ayan. Kilojoules per mole. So, ito yung energy na nawala. So, this one is a process of exothermic and considered as spontaneous. Pero, paano natin nasabi kanina na favors spontaneity of reaction but does not guarantee? So, bakit hindi siya nag-guarantee? So, we can do it vice versa as well. So, what happened to the liquid if we will absorb energy from the surrounding to go back into an aqueous state? So, ang mangyayari dito, class, we will absorb energy from the surroundings that makes the process endothermic reaction. So, yung reverse process nito automatically is non-spontaneous. Non-spontaneous. Ha? So, may tendency kasi na pag mababa, probably magiging zero to. So, may cases na hindi siya magiging spontaneous. So, ibig sabihin, the enthalpy alone, the enthalpy alone is not just as a reliable source para masabi natin na spontaneous yung nangyari na chemical process. So, ibig sabihin, meron pa tayong basis na dapat i-consider mamaya. Hindi lang si enthalpy. So, let's have an example 3 and 4. So, example 3 and 4 is considered both as endothermic reaction. So, as you can see, our water in a solid state, so ibig sabihin, this one is an ice cube. So, ice cube will absorb energy from the surroundings kasi nga solid siya. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang kinetic energy or at least yung kinetic energy niya. So, the tendency in order to turn it into liquid na water ulit, kailangan niya mag-absorb ng init sa surroundings to add kinetic energy. So, because of that, because of the addition of the heat into the system, so we will have this positive enthalpy, which is 6.01 kilojoules per mole. So, yun nga po yung sign. Be careful. Pag endothermic, tataas si enthalpy, we will have a positive sign. Pag exothermic class, ulit, pag exothermic, we release heat from system into surroundings, we will have a negative enthalpy. Tatandaan, yung unit, ulit, endothermic, positive yung magiging enthalpy, pero pag exothermic, negative yung enthalpy. Okay po? So, paano naman dito sa case ni endothermic reaction? So, kung nakikita nyo, class, we have ammonium nitrate. So, ayan, we have the ammonium nitrate. Ay, kung nakikita nyo din yung H2O sa arrow. So, ito yung sinabi ko, class, sa inyo prior, before, the concept of catalyst. ganito po sinusulat si catalyst sa chemical reaction. Nilalagay siya malapit sa arrow. Diba, sabi ko sa inyo, in a chemical reaction, pwedeng pabilisin ni catalyst yung chemical reaction itself. So, ito yung normal na chemical reaction for endothermic reaction. So, ito yung sinabi ko sa inyo before. Pero, pag nag-apply tayo ng catalyst, so for, in that case, ammonium nitrate, the catalyst that time is the water. So, ang ginagawa ng water, pinapababa niya yung activation energy. So, ibig sabihin, pinapataas niya yung chance na magkaroon ng madaming product. So, ganun po. So, sabi ko sa inyo, by definition, catalyst is any substance that speed up the process. So, sa case natin na to form ammonium nitrate. So, ammonium nitrate. So, ang nangyari dito is water, yung catalyst natin. So, pero yung process niya, class, is endothermic pa rin. Kasi kung napapansin nyo, the enthalpy is positive. So, ayun po. Ibig sabihin, this is non-spontaneous process. So, for this case, solid to liquid melting is, it could be spontaneous, o sabi nga dito kanina, it could be spontaneous or but, it could be non-spontaneous pa. So, case-to-case based pa. Pero, madadaanan din natin yun mamaya. Okay po? Sige, next tayo. So, as a general class, ayun, kanina ko pa na-mention as to summary the concept of spontaneity, hindi natin masasabi na spontaneous process yung isang process pag yung reference point natin or yung tinitignan lang natin is the enthalpy itself or yung delta H or the sum total of internal energy plus the energy that is absorbed and released. So, hindi siya yung reference, hindi lang siya yung reference points natin sa, para masabi natin spontaneous, kumbaga inconsistent. So, ibig sabihin, we need to look for another reference para masabi natin na spontaneous siya. So, ito po yung guide natin. So, ibig sabihin, we will include the concept of entropy. So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang enthalpy dapat yung nagiging reference natin, but also the entropy. So, this is the diagram that shows kung paano natin masasabi whether the chemical reaction is spontaneous or not. So, processes. Dalawang category lang siya. Spontaneous and non-spontaneous. So, let's have the legend. Heat added or loss. So, enthalpy again, heat added or loss plus the internal energy. So, we have the delta S, the change in randomness or entropy. O, sige. Paano natin masasabi na spontaneous siya for the case of entropy? So, ang sabi nga natin, spontaneous siya class so pag, take note lagi, pag negative or mas mababa sa zero si enthalpy natin. Ulit po, masasabi natin na spontaneous yung process kung mababa sa zero or ibig sabihin na nito negative yung mga values. Ibig sabihin, mas favored siya sa exothermic reaction kagaya nito. O, ayan. Isa yan sa criteria na tinitignan natin. Plus, sabi nga natin, hindi siya reliable. So, obviously, we need the help of the value also or the sign of the entropy. O, ayan. Kung makikita niyo yung entropy, ito, delta S. The entropy must be greater than 0. So, ibig sabihin, the sign of entropy dapat nakapartner niya is positive or mas mataas sa 0. Kumbaga, magkabaliktaran. Dapat spontaneous, negative yung sign ng value for enthalpy, for entropy is mas mataas sa 0 or positive yung mga sign. Okay po? So, ibig sabihin, pag non-spontaneous class, kabaliktaran. So, example, it could be an endothermic reaction. So, kagaya nito. So, 6.01. So, this one is positive. So, endothermic reaction. So, ibig sabihin nito, class, yung enthalpy is mas mataas sa 0. So, kabaliktaran siya with spontaneous. So, yung entropy naman is negative. So, dapat careful tayo or may reference na lang tayo para masabi natin na spontaneous. O ulitin ko po, pag spontaneous, negative dapat si enthalpy and the entropy must be greater than 0 or positive. And pag non-spontaneous naman, so kahit wag nyo na i-consider si non-spontaneous, ito na lang yung tatandaan nyo. Para alam nyo na yan kung baliktad, kung hindi nag-match. Pag spontaneous, the enthalpy must be negative, entropy must be positive or mas mataas sa 0. And sabi dito, pag spontaneous, it must be favored with product, and non-spontaneous is favored with reactant. So kung natatandaan nyo class, almost similar yung explanation natin dun sa diagram na pinakita ko. So, okay, balikan natin. So, ito po siya. So, ayan. Ayan, ito siya class. So, again, sabi ko nga sa inyo, pag exothermic reaction, favored tayo sa product. Ibig sabihin, sobrang product or mas madami tayong product na nakikreate. It is just because nga, the energy in the system, we release it, and because of the release of heat, bumababa yung activation energy that results sa reactant na konti lang yung collision na kailangan in order to surpass the activation energy that results sa greater product. So, ito po yung dahilan. Kaya, ibig sabihin, mas favored lagi sa exothermic process yung spontaneous process. So, ibig sabihin, dito sa kabila, dun kanina sa non-spontaneous, mas favored sa reactant. Kaya, mas madaming reactant kasi nga, hindi basta-basta nasusurpass yung activation energy to create a greater product. Okay po? O sige, yun lang yung explanation natin pag in-interpret natin yung arrow na yun. Ayan. Klaro po ba? So, we have also this link. Kung gusto niya lang siyang panoorin, you can refer that also. Okay. Next, we have also this advanced spontaneous process. So, almost similar to this. But, class, sabi ko nga sa inyo, there are instances na masasabi natin dire-diretso na spontaneous siya. Masasabi na natin na dire-diretso na non-spontaneous siya. So, example yun natin, ito, spontaneous. Dapat si enthalpy, enthalpy, mas mababa sa 0, or it could be negative, so check. And, delta S, the entropy must be greater, it could be or positive, so check. Spontaneous to. For non-spontaneous, titignan naman natin, the enthalpy must be greater than 0, so positive. And the entropy is negative, so vice versa. So, ano naman tong dalawang to? Siningit natin. Non-spontaneous at high temperature at spontaneous at low temperature. So, ito nga yung sinabi ko, class. So, we can consider some processes either be endothermic or exothermic as spontaneous in a given condition. So, ibig sabihin, may mga processes na makonsider natin siya spontaneous at high temperature and spontaneous din as a low temperature. So, can you take note this one? Babalikan natin yan by the end of our PowerPoint. Kasi nga, lahat ng tanong nyo about this or explanation about this is madadaanan natin siya once we are done discussing about the Gibbs free energy. So, okay po. So, ito, sure way na tayo pag yung sign dire-diretso to. So, ito, depende pa kung anong temperature para masabi natin siya na spontaneous or not. Okay po? Sige. So, let's have this example. So, let's have an example. Kindly take note, for this case class, wala muna akong binigay na example. Wala akong binigay, ibig sabihin na temperature ha, ibig sabihin constant yung temperature natin dito or in a room temperature. Yung room temperature natin class, 25 degrees Celsius. Yung typical na temperature lang natin. Yung room, kung mag-ideal or tinatawag natin room temperature. So, let's have, pag room temperature class, example, ice. Ice to into water. So, melting. So, ibig sabihin, pag nag-melt tayo, we will absorb heat from the surroundings to enter to the ice in order to turn it into liquid. So, pag nag-absorb siya ng heat to surroundings, so tataas si enthalpy. Dapat, yung value dito is, the value is positive. Positive. Ibig sabihin, endothermic reaction to. So, mataas yung chance na non-spontaneous na agad siya kasi nga endothermic. Di ba sabi natin, mas mataas yung chance pag yung enthalpy is exothermic, mas negative. So, since nga nag-add tayo ng heat from surroundings, from ice, into the system, so ang nangyari, dapat tataas si enthalpy. So, non-spontaneous siya so far based on our assessment in a given room temperature. So, next we have the entropy is greater than 0. So, one-sided siya. One-sided siya. So, kung titignan natin sa arrow, spontaneous siya, class. Kung dito tayo magbe-base, spontaneous, kung yung enthalpy, kung enthalpy, ito lang yung basis natin. Ayan. Ito. Kung enthalpy lang siya, class, endothermic ang mangyayari sa kanya. Endothermic. Di ba pag endothermic, mas favored siya sana as non-spontaneous. Kaso, hindi siya nag-align sa typical natin na basis na the sign here is greater than 0. So, probably, melting is non-spontaneous so far in a given room temperature. Pag room temperature so, tapos yung arrow niya for the entropy is favored to this. So, inconsistent siya. So, dito siya mafo-fall. Ibig sabihin, spontaneous yung melting. Makakonsider natin si melting as spontaneous at high temperature. Kasi nga, di ba yung typical natin dapat na basis is dapat si entropy and enthalpy is magkabaliktaran para masabi natin dire-diretso na spontaneous siya or not. Kung yung basis lang natin is enthalpy alone, makakonsider natin siya as non-spontaneous. So, kung enthalpy lang yung basis natin, kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, pag enthalpy lang alone, inconsistent tayo, hindi natin siya masasabi na spontaneous ba talaga siya or hindi. So, dito, since half-bridge siya, ibig sabihin, either of the two siya mafo-fall. So, kung i-check natin siya, so, dito siya mafo-fall class. So, enthalpy is endothermic reaction siya. Ibig sabihin, nag-absorb siya ng heat. So, ibig sabihin, positive. Positive yung enthalpy. And the entropy is also positive. So, ibig sabihin lang nun, pag parehong positive yung entropy and enthalpy, it is considered as spontaneous at high temperature siya. So, at high temperature lang siya. So, ibig sabihin, kaso yung case natin, in a room temperature siya. Yung room temperature yung given natin na temperature So, ibig sabihin, for now, may doubt pa tayo kung consider natin siya spontaneous or not. Okay? O, sige, dito tayo. Yung kabaliktaran niya, freezing. So, si freezing, kung ang mangyayari dito, in order to turn water into gas, into solid, ang mangyayari sa water is kailangan niya muna mag-give way or mag-give off ng heat into surroundings to turn it into solid. So, ibig sabihin, pag nag-give off tayo ng heat sa surroundings class, this is an exothermic reaction. So, kung yung enthalpy alone lang yung titignan natin, dire-diretso ang isasagat natin, spontaneous siya. Pero, yun nga class, hindi reliable nga yung enthalpy alone. We need also to check the entropy of the system. So, baliktad, ito yung entropy, ito yung enthalpy, ito yung entropy. So, kung titignan natin class, the entropy of the system is less than 0. So, negative siya. So, ibig sabihin, pag tinignan natin sa diagram, ayan, entropy dapat is negative, enthalpy is negative, and the entropy is negative. So, ibig sabihin, spontaneous siya at a low temperature. So, low temperature has spontaneous siya at a low temperature. Low temperature, but yung kanina, ibig sabihin, class, in this illustration, melting is spontaneous. Melting is spontaneous in high temperature, while melting is spontaneous at low temperature. Kaso nga lang, class, ulit, sasabihin ko sa inyo, yung given natin na temperature is room temperature in a 25 degrees Celsius. So, ibig sabihin, we cannot just assess na spontaneous siya or not pa. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan pa natitignan natin yung energy. Or later, yung free Gibbs energy. Kasi nga, si free Gibbs energy mix siya, combination of entropy and enthalpy alone. So, third criteria natin siya para masabi natin whether it is spontaneous or not. Dito, meron pa tayong doubt whether kung saan pa sa kanila si spontaneous or not. Pero take note, class, kung susundin natin yung original natin na criteria, melting is spontaneous, while freezing is non-spontaneous because the process that is spontaneous in one direction under particular set of condition is non-spontaneous. So, ibig sabihin, class, pag melting, kasi nga room temperature tayo, ay yung binilagay natin, yung room temperature, yung typical na yung as is na temperature talaga natin, di ba? Pag tama nga naman, pag naglagay tayo ng yelo sa labas lang, di ba sa labas, room temperature lang tayo, continuously matutunaw lang siya sa room na temperature. So, ibig sabihin, melting is a spontaneous process. And take note, class, kagaya ng in-example ko sa inyo kanina, that the reverse process of spontaneous process is automatically considered as non-spontaneous. Kagaya po nito. So, kagaya ng pang-sugar na tunaw sa kape, pero nagiging non-spontaneous pag yung sugar, ibabalik ba natin siya sa kape? Hindi. So, ibig sabihin, class, so example natin dito, that melting is spontaneous nga naman kasi nga yung given natin na temperature is in a room temperature, yung as is na temperature which is 25 degrees. So, continuously siya nangyayari even though na endothermic siya. So, kung baga, meron pang mga doubts or inconsistent pa kung yun lang yung titignan natin alone. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan natin ng free Gibbs energy para ma-verify natin whether it is spontaneous or not. So, in this explanation, class, melting is spontaneous since the given is room temperature, and freezing automatically, class, kasi nga, pag freezing, kailangan ng required na temperature dito. May condition siya. Kailangan may 0 degrees Celsius muna siya bago siya mag-melt, bago siya mag-freeze. May conditions. Ibig sabihin, it's a no. Hindi siya, kasi sabi doon sa definition natin ng spontaneous, kailangan walang kondisyon or kumbaga walang external forces na kailangan. So, pag naglagay tayo ng condition na gagawin natin 0 degrees Celsius, si freezing, so it's a no. Hindi siya spontaneous na nangyayari. Kailangan yun ng specific na kondisyon para maging spontaneous. Pero sa example kasi natin kanina, class, ayan, kagaya nito. Ayan. Water freeze spontaneously below. Kasi nga yung condition na binigay natin dito is 0 degrees Celsius. 0 yung dalawa. The ice, sabi dito, water will freeze spontaneously below 0 degrees. Yes, continuously mag-freeze siya. And will melt above 0 degrees Celsius. So, tama nga naman. Paso, yung condition natin dito sa case na to, sa example natin, is in room temperature nga, yung typical. So, ibig sabihin, spontaneous ang isa, si melting, non-spontaneous si freezing. Ayan. So, ganun lang po. Okay? Sige, next na tayo. So, we will proceed to the second law of thermodynamics. second law of thermodynamics, it explains again, sabi ko nga sa inyo, kananong before, why chemical process tends to favor at one direction. The entropy and the second law of thermodynamics. The third, this law states that the entropy of the universe increase in spontaneous process and remain unchanged in an equilibrium process. So, sabi ko sa inyo class that the entropy of an isolated system or yung sinasabi natin universe, di ba sabi ko sa before that our universe is an example of an isolated system that is possible na tumaas yung entropy natin because it is example universe increase spontaneously yung entropy but never siya de-decline. Kung mang-de-decline or bababa mismo yung entropy ng system natin, it only means that our universe is not isolated system, but instead a closed system or open system. So, violation na siya agad. So, ang sinasabi kasi sa second law lang, in an isolated system, the entropy will continue increase or it could be remain unchanged in equilibrium state. Dalawa lang po yung pwedeng mangyari dito. Okay? So, next we have, meanwhile, the third law states, ayan, isa-state na natin si third law kasi nga mag-connected lang yung dalawa under sa entropy. Meanwhile, the third law states that the entropy of a perfect crystalline substance is zero at the absolute zero at a temperature of 0 Kelvin or equal to negative 273.15 degrees Celsius. So, sa case na to class, sabi ko nga sa inyo, yung reference point natin dito is the approaching zero or the temperature to 0 Kelvin. Kung baga, the more na nagko-close tayo, mas close tayo sa zero, the more na naging crystallize and the entropy is nagiging constant. Ulit po. So, uulitin natin, the more na nag-a-approach tayo sa 0 Kelvin, kumbaga from 5 Kelvin, the more na palapit tayo sa 0, the more na nag-a-approach or palapit din tayo into the perfect crystal or perfect entropy or kumbaga equal na yung entropy. So, that forms a perfect crystalline. So, yun nga example natin before, yung yellow. Diba? In order na magpag-yellow tayo, kailangan mo na ma-reach yung zeros. Yung zero na temperature. So, pag na-reach na yung 0 degrees, yung 0 na temperature, ang nangyari, nagtuturn na siya yung liquid, na original na liquid, into solid. So, because of that, nagiging crystallize siya and the entropy class is nagiging equal or nagiging constant. So, yun po. Yan lang yung sinasabi dito sa third law of thermodynamics. So, connected kasi itong dalawa. So, because of the universe is made up of the system and the surroundings, the entropy change in the universe for any process in the sum of the entropy change in the system and in the surroundings, thus, and in the surroundings. So, ayan. So, yung entropy daw ng universe natin, di ba sabi ko nga sa inyo, that our universe is an example of an isolated system. And we are living in an isolated system, which means the energy that we use is coming from the stored energy from our various systems that we have. So, yung tinutukoy ko na system, si any objects or any form of matter na constantly na nag-exchange ng energy from the system itself sa internal energy and its surroundings. So, yun lang po. So, let's have this interpretation for the second law. The entropy of the universe or the entropy of the isolated system is equal to the entropy of the system plus the entropy of the surroundings is always equal to or greater to 0 as automatically, or greater to 0 is automatically a spontaneous process. Kasi nga, sabi natin, bawal mag-decline. Bawal bumaba yung entropy ng system. Pero pwedeng maging equal. That's why, dapat yung value natin is 0 or mas mataas sa 0. That's why we can consider that as spontaneous process. Dire-diretso yan. Kasi nga, isolated system, dapat nagbabaliktad-baliktaran lang, nag-exchange lang ng energy si system tsaka si surroundings to have a greater than 0 na spontaneous. Kaya sabi sa second law that the entropy is possible na mag-increase. So, next we have also the entropy of the universe or the isolated system is equal to the entropy of the system plus the entropy of surroundings. It could be also equal to 0. So, ibig sabihin, pag nag-0 to, we are approaching to equilibrium. The process tends not to occur. Equilibrium is attained. But again, sa case na to, ibang process na siya. Pero, special case siya, pero still relies on the second law of thermodynamics. Next, we have the isolated system or the universe is equal to the system plus the enthalpy or entropy of the surroundings must be greater than 0. Reverse process occurs spontaneously. Ibig sabihin, pag bumaba pag bumaba yung entropy ng mismong system or ng mismong isolated system, automatically we cannot consider that as spontaneous.